why did the Biden administration not try to convince Netanyahu to go after some sort of ceasefire? Here is what Joe Biden said on MSNBC days after October 7th and the meeting he had with Netanyahu.
Went to Israel immediately after their attack by Hamas, 8 days later, whatever it was. And I told him we were going to help. And I said, but Bibi, I said, you can't be carpet bombing these communities. And he said to me, well, you did it. You carpet bombed, not his exact words, but you carpet bombed Berlin. You dropped a nuclear weapon. You killed thousands of innocent people because you had to in order to win a war. I said, but that's why we came up with the UN. New deals by which what we would do relative to civilians and military.
So he was comparing 21st century war tactics, battle tactics, with World War II.
Well, what he was really doing is he was going after me for saying you can't indiscriminately bomb civilian areas, even if the bad guys are there. Even if the bad guys are there, you can't take out 2, 10, 12, 1,500 people, innocent people, in order to get the one bad guy. And he made a legitimate argument. His perspective said, look, these are the guys that kill my people. These are the guys that are all over in these tunnels. Nobody had any idea the miles of tunnels were down there. It's amazing what they built.
Yeah, he said he made a legitimate argument. Why does the United States president not know how to respond to these manipulative arguments?
I think that's a question that a lot of historians are going to be very interested in. I think Mr. Biden has shown on multiple occasions that he has very poor judgment. This is very poor judgment indeed. What he has done effectively over the last 16 months is destroy the entire fabric of international law, destroy the credibility of the UN Charter and the United Nations, which he referred to, destroy the laws of war. He has aided and abetted, not just condoned, he has aided and abetted genocide, while his Secretary of State and his National Security Advisor deny that there is genocide. They think there's genocide in Xinjiang in China, where people are being re-educated and forcibly assimilated, much as the United States did and Canada did and Australia did with indigenous people. That is a crime, I agree. That is bad behavior, but it is not genocide by any definition. They have announced there is genocide in Sudan. Why? Basically, because they want to be on, quote, the right side of history, unquote. But they are entirely on the wrong side of history in the case of Israel and Palestine. And this is not going to be Mr. Biden's legacy, when it's judged by historians, will carry this very, very dark mark on it. And I would note, finally, Nima, that as an American, I'm disgusted with this kind of posture on the part of our government. But I'm far from alone. All of the polls show that young Americans, in particular, young Jewish Americans, overwhelmingly believe there is genocide being committed in Gaza and don't want to be associated with it. The American people oppose the weapons sales to Israel, or weapons gifts to Israel, more accurately, that Biden has carried out. Now, having said all of that, I don't see much prospect of an improvement under Mr. Trump. He may react viscerally to the essential betrayal of him and his envoy by Prime Minister Netanyahu. He may be angry. He does have a habit of getting angry at people who don't follow his direction. And that might lead him to do something by way of pressure on Israel. But otherwise, he's been, he's the one who illegally recognized the incorporation of the Golan Heights into Israel. He's the one who moved the embassy to Jerusalem in total contradiction to international law and repeated Security Council decisions. He has no respect for precedents, for rules. He is emotional, and he acts on the basis of his gut, not his brain sometimes. So we can't tell what he will do. It would be hard to be worse than Joe Biden. But if anyone could achieve that, it would be Donald Trump.